What qualities are needed in the next chief of police? As the city prepares to choose the next top cop, we've been asking Winnipeggers this question. Well, one of the decision makers is Police Board Chair Marcus Chambers. He sat down with Information Radio's Marcy Marcusa to discuss the process, and it started with consultations, and there was one recurring theme.
It's relationship. A lot of the community that we consulted, and that included Indigenous, newcomer communities, business communities. We consulted with council. Everybody, I guess to a point, had mentioned relationship. The person has to be able to build relationships. They need to be a listener. They need to be empathic. They want somebody that can communicate effectively internally and externally, is a collaborator, and embraces innovation. These are all some of the features that we've heard through and through during our consultation process.
One of the guests in our series, a lot of the themes you're talking about came up in our series as well, especially the trust piece, the relationship building. Former Chief Devon Clunas actually said that the relationship piece is so important right now that he thinks the next chief should be out each and every day, visible with community. It's very important. But one of the guests we also had said that it's time for an Indigenous police chief. What's your response specifically to that and to the other things that have been come up in our series here?
Well, Winnipeg is home to the largest population of Indigenous persons per capita. And, in terms of the Truth and Reconciliation and the calls to action, there's something called UNDRIP, which is the United Nations Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People that we're hoping will be adopted here. There's the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. And Jordan's principle. These are all factors that the next chief will have to work with Indigenous leaders and Indigenous communities to ensure that the needs of Indigenous community is met. So that relationship is critically important to our community.
We know from talking to Devon Clunas as well that the next chief actually doesn't have to be a police officer. You could hire a civilian, someone from outside the service. How likely is that or not in Winnipeg in this moment?
Well, and great question. I mean, the RCMP have done that in terms of hiring a civilian member to run their organization. It was met with limited success. We have to look at somebody that is, the Canadian Police Knowledge Network defines what the core competency should be. And, having experience in police leadership is among that. But to say that we're going to hire an outside person that has no policing experience, I think would be a bit of a stretch. But we have to wait and see what we get in terms of the candidates that are applying. We also have to remember that there's a lot of new executives. This is a transformational period for the city and province. The city is hiring a new CEO. That's on the way. We've recently hired a new CFO, Chief Financial Officer. There's a new chief in Brandon that will impact on the Manitoba Association of Chiefs of Police. There's a new CACP president, the Canadian Association of Police Chiefs. And so nationally, he'll have to work with that organization as well. And then we have a provincial government that's in the first year of its mandating, that he will have to establish those relationships as well. So a lot of newness in terms of that role and the relationships that he'll have to bring. So to Devon Clunas' point, yes, relationships is a big factor in the recruitment of the next chief.
And just last, obviously it won't be the last time we talk about this, but just last for this morning, I want to ask you about what outgoing Chief Danny Smythe had to say to your board and also to council. He said, he really made a point of saying more officers are needed. He said there's 1,450 sworn officers in 2016 when he came in, and now that number's down to around 1,375 at a time when, as you said, retail theft is up, all kinds of different crimes are calls for service have changed now in community, and there's a bigger need for officers in his view. Can whoever takes this new job expect that might be something that is going to be looked at?
Well, we have to have that discussion. I mean, we have individuals, including academics, that have been very critical of police and very critical of police budgets growing. So we have to work with those members of the community as well and recognize that we have to come to an understanding in terms of what is needed in terms of community safety, and whether that's more police, whether that's additional programs that help those that are chronically, in trouble with the law or have other issues that police are responding to. Those are some of the tasks and responsibilities that the new chief is going to have to undertake. And again, build those relationships, build that trust, build that understanding that, police cannot do it alone. There is a requirement to engage other members of our community, other segments of our community, to overcome what we're seeing now and restore public order in our city and in our province.
Marcus Chambers, I said that was the last question, but why don't you leave us with the top quality that you would name that we need for the next chief?
Again, for me, it's somebody who's approachable, somebody that we can establish trust, somebody that's transparent and can be held accountable.
Marcus Chambers says the deadline to apply is this Friday. After interviews, the board will recommend a potential new chief to City Council, who will have final say. He says they hope to have the new chief in place by the end of October.